Thank you so much for joining me. It is, of course, a Monday night, 8:30. I have been spruiking this for a while, doing this live, Musician's Mind. This is something I came up with about 2 weeks ago, and I've just decided I'm going to do it. I'm just going to absolutely do it because it's something I'm really passionate about, something that I'm going through myself, and I know that there's so many people that are going through it. So this Musician's Mind, raw talk, raw music, where you have conversations about mental health in the creative world. It's really unfiltered. It's really simple. It's this whole format. This is what it is. It's Instagram Live. There's no bells and whistles, and it will be having a couple of people jump in and all that kind of fun stuff down the track. I'm going to try and keep them around the 20-minute mark if I can, maybe 20-25 minutes roughly, depending on how much we unpack in this series. And it will obviously grow and develop with whatever we do and however this sort of progresses. And I'm open to anything and everything, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm super excited. And look, just a quick shout out too, because I'm going to start working with some charities in the coming weeks where I'm going to chuck some links up that you guys can actually donate. And so the first one's actually going to be Lifeline Australia, because they do incredible work surrounding mental health and suicide prevention and all those kinds of things. So I would urge you to donate to those links when I've got them. Obviously this is just the intro, so I haven't got there yet, but we're working towards it. But look, a lot of this, so this is all mental health based, right? It's actually Mental Health Awareness Month here in Australia, and Suicide Awareness Month, or suicide prevention, and this was sort of done on purpose, really. There's so much in the world going on, let alone Australia, around mental health and people becoming more vulnerable and starting to reach out more, and there's conversations being had, but I still feel like there's just not enough. There's just not enough. So there needs to be more of these conversations, because it's so important to reach out to people. I know very recently I struggled a lot, and I posted a few things, and it wasn't for the attention, it wasn't for the look at me, I'm really sad and depressed kind of stuff. It was really, I needed people to talk to me, and I wanted people to reach out because I knew that they were struggling as well. And with all of this going on, it was life-changing for me personally, because it really, really lit this spark inside of me that I'm really excited to share with all of you. And of course, mental health can look like a lot of different things. You've got the depression, you've got anxiety, there's lack of sleep, there's substance abuse and addictions, there's exhaustion, there's all of these things. And it's crazy to me that some people, they think this is normal for them, where it's just not going to disappear anytime soon, that they can't work through whatever issues they've got going on. And it drives me crazy. I think, why not? Why don't you deserve better? And obviously it's a mental game, right? It's mental health. They don't feel like they deserve better. And it's a conversation worth having, in my opinion. And look, there's a few of these people that have taken their own lives over the years that really got to me. Two in particular. One, icons in the industry, of course, in music, Chris Cornell. He's a vocal god to me. He's one of my idols. And the crazy thing is he wasn't so open about his struggles, apart from the fact that, look, he did become sober as a result. But you listen to his lyrics and they're so deep, and it sort of makes sense when you go, okay, maybe this actually does make sense. You know what I mean? And the other one is Chester Bennington. There's a lot of stuff going on about Chester and Linkin Park and stuff at the moment, but Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, he was very open about his struggles. He actually talked about living inside this bad neighborhood inside of his head. Being alone was really a struggle for him, and ultimately that's what won, unfortunately. He took his own life, and it was such a sad moment, and because it was so close together too, it really it crushed me, and it sort of made me think, if these people that seemingly have it all, right, they've got so much going for them, they were super successful, they obviously had money, they had supportive family and friends, they had fans worldwide, like, if they couldn't do it, what hope did I have? And that's what scared the absolute shit out of me, right? Because I think of that and I go, well, what chance have I got? And it really got to me. So doing this kind of thing and reaching out to other fellow musicians and friends of mine, I really wanted to create that space for them. And I hope this is where we're going with this. But I want to throw some statistics out there because these are scary as hell. Right, 75% of suicides are male. 75% are male. I'm not discounting females here at all, but 75% are male. That's crazy to me. It's the leading cause of death for men aged between 15 and 44. The leading cause, more than any other sickness, more than anything else, it's the leading cause of death between 15 and 44. It's crazy. And it can affect so many different people, your family, friends, colleagues, the first responders. It's like, they say around 135 people is the widespread sort of effects of it. Even more so if you've got a fan base as a musician, you know what I mean? People will feel that everywhere. Approximately over 65,000 people in Australia, at least, tend or try to take their own life, which is really, really sad. And it's an estimated 1 in 3 Australians reported feeling lonely. Now, that's Australians reported feeling lonely. 1 in 3. Australia has a population of 27 million. And we talk about the worldwide. It's a lot of people, right? If Australians are feeling lonely and we're one of the happy-go-lucky countries, right? How is this going in places like Europe or America or Asia, etc.? It's this. These statistics are really scary, and this is another part of the reason why I'm reaching out and doing this in the way that I'm doing it, or trying to at least. But look, this wouldn't be a mental health series if I wasn't struggling myself and going through my own battles and stories and journey. And a big part of this is having come through so much. I feel like I can share a little bit now because I obviously suffered from depression and anxiety. I'm a chronic overthinker. I do all those things, or have done all those things in the past. Really bad negative self-talk. Lack of sleep was a killer, and as a vocalist, even more of a killer. But sort of stemming back, going into sort of youth for me is where it sort of started. I've been singing since I was 5. My father owned a country music radio station. I was always surrounded by music. He was a performer, is a performer. My family's quite musical. But when I got to high school, I got a scholarship as a singer into the high school, as the first person to ever get a scholarship into this school as a vocalist. And as such, they didn't really have a place for me. And that's fine. It was a new program, new idea that they were trialing. But as a result, they kind of lugged me with singing the national anthem every single week at their big school assemblies. And that's in front of all of the high school students. And I was a little grade 7 kid whose voice hadn't quite broken yet, still about to go through puberty, all that crazy stuff. About to sing the national anthem in front of everyone consistently throughout the years. And I did. And I did it without hesitation. But with that came a ton of bullying. It painted a massive target on my face. And people were relentless. I used to catch the bus to and from school, 45 minutes on the bus, and I would get beaten up, pushed around, my bag thrown everywhere, stuff everywhere. It was a struggle day in, day out for me to get to school and then to get home. I enlisted my brothers one day to help me out. It didn't go so well. There's all sorts of things that I've tried. It led to me. I nearly got stabbed at a movie marathon at my local movie theater, which is crazy. This kid and all his friends. I was there with 2 of my friends, and they sort of just approached and words were exchanged, and they said, "Sing us a song." I said no, and it just kept going on and on and on. I tried to get away. It just erupted. It was crazy. Police were involved. He tried to stab me with a bread knife. It's full on. It was absolutely full on. And even though I got through it, I worked through it. I spoke about it. I didn't bottle any of this up, but there's that trauma there, And there was 2 things that I learned from this: the resilience that I needed to be a vocalist, as to do what I wanted to do, and the other thing was what I got from it was this trauma and this negative self-talk about, "You're a piece of shit. You can't do this. Who are you pretending to be? You can't sing. Who do you think you are, deserving to be on a stage? Trying to entertain people, etc." That's the kind of self-talk that I used to have. After high school, I was fairly low in confidence and self-confidence, physical, bodily confidence, the whole thing. I joined a martial arts, Araka martial art, and it literally saved my life. This thing, and you can see it behind me there, my yellow belt, took me 4 years to achieve this, and it was one of the single hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, and one of the best things I've ever done in my life. This particular martial art, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you do a martial art, do it as much as you can and do it well, because the physical mind-body connection, the whole thing, it just helped me so much. I got so much physical self-confidence out of all of this. And really that's what sort of helped push everything along for me. And I became a lot more confident. I found who I was in all of that. And it wasn't just the martial arts aspect and getting to kick and punch people, which is also fun. It was the physical outlet that I had that kept my mind clear. That was the whole idea. And of course, my family was a huge support throughout all of this, right? Very recently, having suffered, I went to Europe to see an amazing friend and meet some incredible people. I had the most amazing, life-changing time over there. Some of you joined me on this live feed, thank you. And honestly, it was some of the most incredible feelings and shared experiences I've ever had in my life. And then I came back to my life with all the stresses and all of the things with, family stuff. There's medical stuff. There's financial stuff. There's work. There's all the pressures of life. And it was like a punch in the face, and it really knocked me down. It was crazy how much I felt of all of that, and being so raw from this trip and so emotional from this trip, it really got to me. And that's when I started posting some of those things online, and people started reaching out, and lo and behold, here we are. But the biggest thing that brought me back was getting back into my physical fitness, and really I threw myself into it. I trained 6 days a week here and just outside my studio by myself. I don't go anywhere to do this. I just create the workouts and I do them. And there's the discipline in that, because if I don't, I know what happens. I know where I get to, and it's not good, right? So my way of dealing with that is this physical fitness of getting all this energy back. And when I started getting all this energy back, I started having all these ideas. I had creative ideas I hadn't done in so long. I was singing more, singing better, singing clearer. I've been doing all these videos online. I've been this whole series is a result of having more energy and more fire in my belly than I've had in ever. I've never had this kind of intensity with anything that I've done in my life. So I'm so excited about it all. But it all came from this physical fitness that I had, and this drive that I had to be better and just get incrementally better every single day. If I can be better than the person I was yesterday, that's where I'm at. And it was a struggle, because I didn't want to get out of bed, and I did have suicidal thoughts. I had intrusive thoughts, and it wasn't just recently. This is stemming maybe a year ago. I had like this lull where I felt nothing at all. I felt no love. I felt no pride. I felt no confidence. I felt nothing, and it was horrible. And I know that I'm not the only one that goes through this stuff. So many people out there are feeling this, and they slap on this smile, and they do this shit day after day, telling people they're fine. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, fine. Yeah, it's fine. And it's not fine. It's not okay. So the whole idea of this is I went back to basics. I suffered, and I needed to get out of the suffering. And with a little bit of a push from the loved ones around me, I was able to find some mental clarity and get some creativity back through being physical again. This physical movement really helped me. And I saw something recently by a very good public speaker and person that talks about mental health openly, who also tried to take his own life. It's Matt Caruana, I think it is. And he says, hope is hopeless without action. And that really stuck in my head. Hope is hopeless without action, because you need to do something. You need to do steady steps, chunk it down towards a larger goal. Start small, but start. That's the biggest thing. Start small, but start somewhere. It doesn't matter what it is. Start by getting up. Start by taking a shower. Start by cooking yourself something that you can eat, that you feel comfortable eating. I want to be a rock star, but I know it's not going to happen overnight. I need to start somewhere and just keep going. So that's where that story has taken me and where I've been with all of it. And speaking of music or raw music, so there was a song that really stuck to me back then throughout my high school years, and I'm sure it's probably a similar case for a lot of people around, in 90s and double O's and that kind of thing. My song was Pushing Me Away by Linkin Park, except it was Linkin Park, the Live in Texas album. It was phenomenal, right? It's the one of the coolest albums and live shows, live performances I've ever had the pleasure of listening to. I didn't get to see it live. I saw the DVD. It's fantastic. But this particular song, they did a remix of it, Pushing Me Away. And I don't know, there was something about the way that they introduced it. There was something about the music. Obviously, the lyrics itself really resonated with me. And I had this little mini disc player that I got all these tracks and stuff, and I borrowed the album from a friend and I burned it to this mini disc player, and it was really good quality. And I used to just put that in, and people pushing me around on the bus and stuff, and I would just hold these headphones in and just I'd just lose myself in my own little world, because that's all I had. And that song, that one song in particular, really got me through so much. And that whole album, of course, but I kept replaying that song over and over and over and over and over again, and it really did help. So that kind of music, and I know there's so many tracks out there, and there's some recently that have really resonated and hit me real hard, and I listen to them, I tear up. I really connect with the songs and the music and the lyrics and the passion behind it, and that's what this is all about, this raw talk, this raw music. It's incredible. Around about this time, I would like to sort of open it up. If there's anyone that is watching or has been watching, or even if they're not, if they don't want to talk, that's totally fine. But if you've got any questions or anything, please just chuck them in the comments below, because I'm happy to answer anything that you may have. And I want to shout out to all you guys that have joined me throughout this chat. I didn't expect large numbers, and it's not about that. It's just me sharing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it in this fashion because I think it's what I should be doing. But what I want to do is I want to encourage everyone to subscribe to all my social medias, because not only am I going to be doing more Musician's Mind stuff with some actual guests on the show, which is going to be awesome. There's more content coming from me. I'm singing and doing some original stuff, doing some more covers. So I urge you to jump on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, obviously. And please subscribe to this journey that I'm on, because I'm not stopping anytime soon. And I'm only going to get stronger with it, to tell you the truth. This fire is not going anywhere. And please share the episode once it's out live, and it will be live on different platforms eventually. Share the episode, tag your friends. If there's something that resonates, or if you think something that I've said is going to resonate with someone or help someone in some way, shape or form, please share it. You can use hashtags like Musician's Mind, Raw Talk, Raw Music. That would also be a good one. Leave me some feedback if you want things to change. Obviously, this is the intro, but as of 2 weeks from now, when I have my first guest, it's a very similar format. It's a conversation. It's really just a conversation, and that's what I want it to be, because it doesn't need to be any more. It doesn't need to be fancy. So I would invite you to give us feedback and stuff as we go. And please, ask any questions that you might have. So in 2 weeks' time, so on the 23rd of September, my first guest on this show, this series, I'm super excited, because I've been watching his journey from afar for a long time. And we met years ago in the touring circuit when I was doing stuff with Mistrum. And he's an incredible musician, wonderful vocalist, multi-instrumentalist. And I know he's had his own ups and downs with mental health and his journey. But he's an inspiration to me, because he was the first person I thought of when I wanted to do this episode. I see so much of his content online, and it just inspired me. I thought, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. And he just keeps raising the bar, in my opinion. And so I'm super excited to introduce Josh Lovegrove. as the first guest for 23rd of September at 8:30 p.m. Same time. We're going to do this all over again, except this time I'm going to be asking them, three basic questions, or essentially three questions surrounding mental health, and that'll just sort of guide the conversation, but it will flow very freely. I don't want to structure it too much. I just want to know about I want him to share his experience with his mental health journey, how he's come through it, and any advice that he might have for those out there that are suffering in the same way. Because it's, like I said, it's a conversation worth having. So I'm super excited to have Josh Lovegrove with me in a couple of weeks' time. So I look forward to having a good chat with him. Now, I want you guys, whoever is watching, I want you to remember that no matter what you are going through, or whatever you think you're going through, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. And there's so much strength and power in seeking support. I did, and it's the best thing I did. Honestly, it's the best thing I ever did. If you do need support, reach out to me, reach out to a friend, reach out to a loved one, creative or not, musician or not, anyone, any of my followers, friends, people, you're all family to me. So I urge you to seek help, maybe professional help if you think you need it, counseling, etc., etc. There's zero shame in doing any of that. Lifeline. Incredible resource to have. You can call the Lifeline number 131114. I don't know what that is in other countries. I'm sure you have something similar, but in Australia, 131114. Jump on, because there's people there that are qualified to help, and that's what they do. And of course, if there is any kind of emergencies, I would urge you to dial 000 in Australia, of course. And if it's yourself or someone if something's happened, definitely go down that road. Now, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for tuning in. This is the series introduction, and I want to thank you for listening to my story about my own mental health, and I'm sure it'll unpack more and more as we go through it over the episodes. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where this series can go, and sharing as much as I can, and having others sort of share with me and open up this space. Because we're all going through it. Everyone's going through it together, and if we can help one another and support one another, that's enough for me, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people. So with that, I want to say thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you for joining me. And until 2 weeks from now, when we do this all over again with my guest Josh Lovegrove, much love, and we'll catch you then. Thank you so much.